find that asshole. We're honestly just a group of guys that are not only family and friends. Heck yeah. Well, welcome to the HnH Podcast. Man, we're excited to be here with everyone today.
Yes, we are. It's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully we've got stuff, kind of in storage, lined up. So we're able to kick stuff out every week or as often as we can, but
Yeah, right now it's like
it's
every other week, but still.
yeah, but it's been I think 2 weeks since we met last, and
hmm Yeah,
so
it's been a while. I don't remember the last one. Last week was kind of dull.
yeah, it's just oh man, just a
But
lot of things one after another kept us
yeah,
from. But we're here today.
we're
We're
back.
excited.
So
We're happy to be doing it.
unlike the rest of the podcast, this one we're gonna bump forward, and this will be the next one you guys hear, and then we'll bring in some of the other ones from the ones that we've done. So
Yeah,
just so everybody knows, but
heck yeah. Which works out because I mean most of the ones we've got backed up are like turkeys and stuff like that. And
turkeys, sheds, a lot of different stuff. A lot of weird. I'm still learning the format, but I think I'm starting to figure out some things in our glitches of a lot of podcasts we recorded all the way through, and then one person's stuff just messed us up the whole podcast.
yeah,
So I think I've started to figure that out a little bit, but if not, there are going to be some good ones that we had fun making, but we're just going to have to redo.
yeah, which is good and bad,
Mm-hmm.
because there's sometimes like for an example, I'm going to use our very first one, our introduction.
Mm-hmm.
We did that the very first time, and that was one of those situations where it didn't record everyone, and so we had to redo it. And I thought it turned out pretty all right, but
Mm-hmm.
the one we weren't able to share, I feel, was just way better. We were way more into it. We didn't feel like we were trying to repeat every single thing that we had, talked about before. And it just, sometimes the first time is better, but other times we're able to fix things on the second try and so on and so forth. But
Exactly. So it's still a learning experience, but it's a
yeah,
fun learning curve. So
it is. And we'll get it down. We'll get it down and be to where we're not making mistakes. And
mm-hmm. For sure. So Caden, what have you been consuming?
oh man. So yesterday actually I caught up on all of the gritty videos, the coos hunts.
Oh yeah,
Man,
they've slayed some giants.
oh my goodness. Those are just insane. Those were some nice bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I've especially the last few years, I've had a good desire to want to hunt coos deer, but after watching that,
I was like,
I'm
I don't want to wait
excited.
another year.
Yeah, I'm excited for the day I finally can.
Yeah. So no, I'm excited for that too. We're trying to make tentative plans and next year
Yeah,
go do that. So down in Arizona, but yeah, that's no Gritty. I really like their films, whoever it is, Um, between Brian and Ryan, they're just two of the most get at it guys you'd ever watch
oh yeah,
and listen to and know. So, yeah, they got more drive than I do, and they have the antlers to prove it.
yeah. Oh heck yeah. No, it's that's there are a couple guys that we definitely look up to, and in a lot of
Mm-hmm.
ways wish we could be more like. And it's kind of something that we want to do our own thing. We're not trying to copy anyone. We're not trying to piggyback off other people. We're trying to do our own thing. But they're definitely big examples for us.
Mm-hmm. Big examples and just like you're saying, big examples and role model. I'm going to use role
Yeah,
models.
no, I definitely would.
So, um, shit, shit, crazy. I mean, he's a little bit off the wire and everything, but he's still um one of the OGs
Yeah,
at the type of content that I like. That it's funny content, you know.
heck yeah.
He is the original internet troll. That he made a brand off of it and he's run with it, and I love it. Um, I don't know if you've caught any of his new stuff, or his new announcement, but
I caught the announcement. I haven't
um,
watched any of his new stuff yet, but
yeah, new stuff is just walking farm properties so far, which most of the tour is going to be.
mm-hmm.
I mean, you got half the states that have whitetail that's all you can find. You know,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Alaska and the
Oh yeah.
Hawaii, unless he's just doing the lower 48. But I'm betting he goes Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh yeah. May as well.
Yeah, nothing to lose there. But no, that's something I've been catching up on is his videos and um, Elk 101 did their um, what is it? I forgot what it is. Outfitters for Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And that if we ever get running good enough that we can do anything like that, that's something I'm doing.
Heck yeah.
So, have you seen those before?
I've heard a little bit about, but no, I haven't actually
Yeah.
seen.
So he takes these kids out that have some sort of illness, whether it's uh, they're all have some sort of illness.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's curable or not, that's not part of the thing. But um, he takes these kids out, and they're on a pretty good Idaho unit, I think, from what I understand. And they take them out on this unit and get everything they need. So if they need like this last one, he couldn't use his lower legs. Something was wrong. He was just born without the use of his legs.
Yeah.
So they packed him around on a frame built for him, where they could just put him in. They packed him around the mountain on that, and it was just really a really cool video. But
That's awesome.
yeah, that's when I'm going to use when because that's way you think. But when we make it that big, I'd love to be part of something like that.
Yeah. No, that's just awesome. I wish that a lot of other people would give people like that the opportunity to be able to enjoy
Yeah,
wildlife, nature, enjoy spending time with other people in the outdoors, enjoy God's
yeah,
creation, honestly. No, that's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. No, I always look forward to those hunts. So that he does, but yeah, and finally cooked up the last of this bowl back here.
Oh heck.
We, I had 5 steaks or 5 roasts left. I think they're just front quarter roasts, which out of all my roasts, I love my front quarter. That roast that sits right on the shoulder blade, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That is my favorite roast on an elk. Is that those front shoulder roasts? I don't know why. They just seem a little bit more tender than the back roasts, and I just really like them. Anyway, we cooked a couple of those up, and I tried a couple different methods, and they were good.
Heck yeah.
So they
Oh, that
got
is
made into a bunch of different stuff. But the first night was steak, and I cooked them all 5 steaks. And there's only 2 of us eating, you know.
yeah.
I cooked all 5 steaks. and cut up a couple of them and put all the rest in the fridge. That's my lunch meat now. And
Heck yeah.
we actually made burritos with it yesterday that we're freezing and getting ready for our Arizona trip. Arizona, we still haven't decided what state, but one of the states we can go shed hunting.
Yeah.
That's warmer, but yeah, so it's gonna be frozen up and ready for that too. So
Freak yeah, dude. That's awesome. I've been tearing into that deer from this year quite a bit lately, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, been having a lot of backstrap steaks and different things like that.
Oh, dude, this recipe I tried, and it's just something I made up on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it done before, but we have a cast iron skillet, and I brown the sides, get it hot, brown the sides of it, and then I throw it in the oven until the internal's like 145 or so, and then I throw it in with a good hunk of butter.
Yeah.
And pull it out and then baste it really good in those juices. I threw some garlic in too this time. And dude, that was like melt in your mouth perfect. On a roast, not even a loin, just on a roast. So that's my new method of cooking them.
That's awesome.
But
Shoot, I'm gonna have to try that out.
yeah, and I hope it's not just a fluke thing, but
Yeah. Oh man. No, so today, first off, I'm gonna do a little shout out in case he's listening. I know he's listened in the past, but I don't know if he'll be listening still. My buddy Ridge, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, my dude. But
happy birthday.
no, I guess we may as well to start off. You got your binos in from Osprey, didn't you?
I did.
Ah,
I did. And I got mine. I got yours. I got
yeah,
whoever else is gonna have the other pair. So I haven't. The deal was I talked to my dad, and the deal was because my little brothers both are gonna get tags this year.
hmm
So I was like, dude, they don't really have a pair of binos. They've been using mine and tracers, and tracers gonna be back this fall, and they need a set of binos.
yeah,
So they're either going to inherit my old Vortex or one of these, but yeah, I've got 3 pairs sitting on the table. One's not going to be touched until I hand it off to you this next weekend. But
heck yeah. Oh, I'm excited. No, so because
the limited backyard use I've had of them, they're pretty good, pretty nice.
yeah,
So yeah, it's one of those things. I have 10x50s.
yeah,
And those are 10x42s. So it's hard to compare 2 different zooms.
yeah.
So I'm really going to tear them apart next week, and I know I'm not going to regret it, but I might pack both pairs. We'll see.
No, may as well.
So worst case, my wife will be packing one, and I'll be packing my Vortex. But no, I'm excited to give them an honest run for their money. So.
Yeah, no, same. We've heard a lot of good things about them, and I mean we're gonna put it to the test. We're gonna really try them out and compare them to the things we've got and we've tried. But no, I guess because this one is gonna actually air before the last one that we talked about it. So we've had a pretty unique opportunity come to us right now. If you want to tell us about that.
Yeah, yeah. So the pre-taste everything. Jared did the legwork on this one. So give credit where credit's due. Jared got us this. So,
He's the man.
um, but he is. So, but Jake with Osprey, he ran into him at a trade show or a rifle show, some sort of show. Started talking to him, bought a pair of binos from him. And then started talking to him a little more, and he's like, I got nothing to lose. And asked him about sponsorship options or things like that. And Jake actually kind of flipped this up a little bit. He gives the crew a pretty good discount. And he gives us opportunity, so it's a win-win. He doesn't necessarily lose much on his end. And no, we're gonna give them a run for their money and see what they're cracked up to what they're supposed to be. And I'm at the point where I'm gonna judge it pretty hard.
Yeah.
So that's just me. So I'm gonna throw it through the ringer and just really see what they are. So, and then if I love them, I love them. So far, they're pretty nice. They're pretty clear, and they're gonna suit me just fine. So,
freak out.
I'm gonna do everything I can this weekend to really break them in. So,
No, that's awesome. And we'll get more details out to everyone as soon as we possibly can. But
yeah,
I mean, people could be able to, if I understand right, go through. You need to go through Jake with Osprey, not just Osprey Global, but Jake with Osprey. And I mean, order stuff through him from Osprey. And do they use HnH?
I don't. I think right now, I don't think HnH is going to come into effect until we reach our 1,000.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's the thing is as soon as we reach 1,000, he'll start advertising for us as well.
Heck yeah.
Is kind of the deal. I think.
Yeah.
So
no, and
like I said, it's not a sponsorship, but it's an in with the possibility of growing both of us.
Heck yeah.
So it's a smaller company right now, or smaller optics company right now, from my understanding. But no, it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what happens with it.
Same. No, very much.
But yeah. If you guys were needing a new pair of 10x42s, and that's the other thing is they don't have a huge array of options, and the highest quality are these black 10x42s. But if you guys are looking to get a pair of 10x42s, let us know. We'll help you out there.
Heck yeah.
So, yep.
And yeah, I mean, as I said before, we'll just keep you guys updated as much as we possibly can about everything. But, but yeah. And I mean, as always, if you want any of our merch, let us know. I've sent out.
Yep, hook Caden up. He's got the best stuff out there.
Yeah, no, we'll gladly help you guys out and get them out to you as soon as we possibly can. I've got 2 that I need to send out this week, and so I mean we've been doing pretty good so far.
That's awesome. So no, it's exciting to see this blow up like it is.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's been a lot of fun too. I mean,
and I'm excited. Like I said, I mean, I'm not hiding it at all. I'm excited to get out of the snow for this cold.
Yeah.
It's what we decided March 28th today, and it's no signs of letting up here in Wyoming. I was in church the other day, and one of the guys in the Elder Scroll was like, "Dude, it's like Groundhog Day. You wake up every morning, there's a little skip of snow out, you go shovel it, you wake up the next morning, same dang thing." And it's ridiculous. But so anyway, we're gonna go out to Arizona like I said, Arizona or New Mexico, somewhere a little bit warmer. Me and the wife this next week, and get out of this weather for a little while and stretch your legs and make some content. There's going to be a shed video coming out here in the next couple weeks.
Heck yeah. Oh man, that makes me excited. Makes me
Yeah,
really,
I'm
really want to get out.
excited. But, dude, did you see the new thing in Colorado?
About those northern states?
Yep. Yep,
Yeah,
up over by Steamboat.
that's
All those units are docking 40% of their tags.
that's just nuts.
Yeah, I mean it's needed. I mean, I know if they're going through even half of what's going on up here, which we're just above them,
Yeah, not very far.
it's needed. They need to cut tags in order to have a population. I'm kind of concerned that's the only state that's doing it so far.
Yeah,
Because Wyoming definitely needs to, especially with antelope. But we went out for a drive the other night, Sunday night or Saturday night, one of the two, and it was sad. They're the regular roadkill deer, which there's a lot of. Then we got out to the hills, and on these sun slopes, there's a deer there that was dead. There's a deer there that was dead. There's a deer there that was dead. There's just these coyotes are having a heyday for sure, but
yeah.
the deer are hurting. So it's one of those things. The ones that do survive this year are going to be monstrous.
Heck yeah.
But anyway.
So I know we are a hunting group. We obviously love hunting of any sort. Animals, sheds, whatever. We love fishing. We love anything outdoors. But today, I've had a lot of things just on my mind for the last little while. And today I kind of wanted to get into that with you a little bit. And
Perfect.
what we're going to talk about today, this is going to be our opinion, what we think, as it always is. But for anyone who may disagree, this is how we feel. So the question I want to ask you, what is a man?
That is a subject.
That is, especially in today's world, that is a subject.
Yes. What is a man? Huh.
Let's see.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, and that can even be kind of a rhetorical question for now.
Yeah.
What what responsibilities should a man have?
Well, that's it's gonna get religious pretty dang quick.
Hey, we've warned people in the past, and hopefully they're ready.
No, you know what? This is something that needs to be talked about more broad. And I actually remember a Gritty podcast not way too long ago that they went into some of this.
And I do want to say, for in the very off chance this gets to him, that
Yeah.
I was listening to that one the other day, And that's what got me started
Uh-huh.
thinking about all of this. So it is because of
Yeah.
Brian Call at Gritty that we're having this discussion.
Mm-hmm. No. Well, a man provides. That's the responsibility. Um, he provides for his family. He provides for his own needs, and I guess in basic answers, he's a provider. That's his job, is to provide what's needed. Now that's not always the case, but his job is to make sure those needs are met. Whether it's by but having his wife work, which she loves, that's fine. As long as it's there, that's his responsibility, is to provide. At least that, in my opinion. But to go on top of that, he's the head, and he needs to know. Shoot, it feels like I'm in a church class.
No, you're good. And then
Trying to pull and stuff.
for everyone listening, this Colton had no idea what I was thinking about coming into this. He is 100% winging this, and I'm winging it too, honestly. But
yeah, no, I that's a really in-depth question, and there's a lot of answers, but I want to hear some of your thoughts while I keep on thinking.
no, so I I personally have a hard time with a lot of things happening in today's world. I get, and I should say I know that everyone's got their own choice. Everyone has their free agency to do what they want. What I think may be 1000% different from the person next to me. They may believe the exact opposite of what I do, and that's good for them. But I personally have a hard time with a lot of stuff that's going on in today's world with the confusion that people have of what a man is, what a man does. I mean, you could get into all this gender stuff or whatever, and that's not even exactly what I'm getting at today. I'm going to just leave that for a whole different conversation. One that probably won't be on a podcast.
Yeah.
Because we get a lot of hate and backlash for whatever we say about that. But you know what? I have a hard time seeing men not be men in today's world. I have a hard time with how fair everything has to be. It's nice when things are fair. But you know what? Life's not freaking fair.
No, it's not. And I'm I see this a lot in my daily life, um, and just little things of, for instance, there's this kid I know. I'm not going to go into any more
Yeah,
details.
no, you're good.
And honestly, I got a lot of rabbit holes to go off of here of what men aren't.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even know where I watch a lot of weird little videos. I mean, our opinions are a lot of the same, and we watch a lot of the same videos and things that are the same. So things pop up that are in our like-mindedness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I've watched a lot of videos of percentages thrown out there, and I'm not going to say percentages or anything because I don't know. But over 50% of crime and issues come from the single mother home. And it's over that. I know the percentages that I was listening to is over that.
Mm-hmm.
But they come, and nothing against single mothers. They are doing the
absolute rock stars.
So they're doing the impossible. But God created man and woman, and without man and woman, things just don't go right. And Satan knows that, and that's that's why families right now, they're getting hit hard. So, I mean, you and I, we got lucky. We grew up in a family that was together, that taught us values, that disciplined us, that you knew that if you back talked to dad, you were going to get smacked.
The only thing worse was back talking mom.
Yeah. You got double the oh, yeah. And yeah, that really hurts me to see. As a coach, these single parents raising these kids, it was hard to see. Hard to see that. Hard to see some of them that they live with grandma. They don't have the option of mom and dad because moms did drugs and dads in jail, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to see that. Looking at it from a kid standpoint is just you bring these amazing beings on the earth, and then you just leave them, you know. And a man doesn't do that. So yeah, that's kind of my train of thought there.
Yeah,
bouncing around a lot.
I think so. I'm going to say a mother, okay? Because I'm in the point of life right now where I see a man as a father. Because I have 2 kids of my own, and this is coming from someone who has been a dad for only 2 years almost, okay? But a mother has an unexplainable amount of responsibility. There is no greater treasure on this earth than a mother. They're the ones who bring the children into this world, who take care of them. I have a son who's 7 months old, and yes, I can change his diaper, I can change his clothes, but you know what? There's not a dang thing I can really do to keep him alive like she does. My wife is the whole reason why my son is alive and thriving today like he is. A woman, a mother, has the biggest responsibility and is the biggest treasure and should be for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
The father needs to make sure that the mother is taken care of. His responsibility is to make sure that she can do hers. If she needs...
Well, I'm going to
whether
it's... Yeah. No. And not even needs. I don't have any of the experience that you do on being a father. I'm going to say here soon.
Hey.
So that's all the audience gets, but I am going to say here soon. But I don't think it's just making sure she's fed and stuff like that. It's not only that she is getting what she needs, it's getting what she needs to thrive. Yeah. Like you're saying with your son, she gives him everything he needs to flourish. That's the right word. And the man's responsibility is to make sure she gets that as well.
And So lately, okay, and I hope she doesn't mind that I'm going to kind of bring this up a little bit. I know it's been kind of hard for her, for my wife. She's got a lot on her plate. And it doesn't help that I'm gone a majority of the day, every day. She has to take care of a toddler and a newborn on her own for almost the majority of every day. And yes, she's got help. She's got her sisters, her parents, friends around here who can help. But you know what? It's not the same. She's got stress beyond anything I could imagine. And what she doesn't need is me coming home at the end of the day and saying, I just need a break. I need to sit back and relax. You keep taking care of the kids. You do this and that. Let me go watch TV. Let me go play outside. Let me go play a video game, whatever you're into. You know, when you get home, she needs help. And that's something that I need to do a lot better on. But there's a lot of people I know that suck at that. I'm 100% just going to say suck at that. There's a lot of fathers I know that are lousy fathers. And for anyone who falls into the lousy category, step it up. Oh my gosh. Again, there's no bigger responsibility or bigger stress than being a mother. So do your job as a father and help her. Do your job as a man and provide for her in any way she needs, not just financially, not just stability wise by having a house or a vehicle that she can use or live in, but she needs mental help, I should say. She needs emotional help. She needs to know that you care and that you are just as much of a parent as she is.
Yeah. No, that's something I can tell has been weighing on you pretty hard.
Quite a bit. And honestly,
but
there's a lot of things that I've been doing wrong. A lot of things that I need to be a lot better at. I don't feel like I'm a great dad, but I'm trying and I'm gonna be better. Tomorrow I'm gonna be better than I am today. I'm not a great husband. I'm gonna keep trying. Holy cow, I'm gonna keep trying. But frickin' heck, there's a lot of just lousy examples of fathers and men. But and you know what? I'm going off on all this like step it up bullcrap. There's a lot of amazing fathers too. Holy cow. My father-in-law.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if there's really any better man on this earth than him. My own dad, I don't look up to anyone like I do him. Amazing men. There's a lot of fathers that I know in my community that are just fantastic men.
No, and I mean, yeah, it's easy to go off on the ones that aren't doing the right things, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Frustrating to see. Frustrating to look out the window and see a druggy dad sitting on the curb, doing what he knows he shouldn't do, and knowing there's kids in that
Yeah.
house. You know, and I'm not saying that he can't
No,
change. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm not condemning. I'm just saying it's sad to see that picture because I know I know a lot of what goes on with that in my 5 years being coach. You know, kids talk when you're a mentor. And I look at when we're talking about good father figures, I look at my old wrestling coach.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say that my dad isn't great. I love my dad. I mean, he's the greatest example.
He is a man.
Yes, he is a man. And one of the things that he taught us young, to go on a different tangent, was something to the effect of the way that you should prove or show that you're a man is the way you treat your wife.
Yeah.
Or the measure of the man is the way you treat your wife, or something of the sort. I don't remember how the saying goes, how he said it. That was something that he said early on. And that's something that he's tried to implement in our lives throughout our whole growing up. It is how he treats your mother in front of you when you're not looking, how he treats your mother, or how he treats his wife. Really measures the measure of the man. So going into that, there's a lot of great examples. But the one I'm going to use right now is my old wrestling coach. Mainly because he's been a father figure for kids that have had crap parents. Just fate didn't line up. I grew up with a kid that wrestled way below me. And there are times that on the way to wrestling tournaments, he's like, "Coach, I don't have any underwear. I don't have any clean underwear." And we'd stop and pick up underwear for him, And I know he's made a difference in those kids' life. Especially mine. Just seeing what he did for everybody. But when you think of men, that's one of the first guys I think of is my old wrestling coach. Not because he was the wrestling coach that beat me up, He was the man that taught you how to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
He'd smack you around if you're doing something wrong. He'd say, "Dude, you can't do that." But his persona is he can get away with that. He'll smack you around and you'll still love him because you know that he loves you. You know that he's doing it for you. So, and I look at all of our grandparents. Grandpa Hall with Grandma Jeanette, and Papa Joe with Grandma Carol. Just the love that they still show at their older ages, the things that they still do for their significant other. Grandpa Joe will never, ever let anything happen to Grandma. And he will always make sure that she is where she wants to be when she wants to be there. Even if his driving strategies are a little bit different, he gets there. I'm not going to go into that in this podcast, but we just have so many great examples of what a great man should be. And how it's not just responsibility. Yeah. When you think of what is a man, you think of responsibility, this. It's not always that. If you can't have fun, it's great to have responsibility, but if you can't have fun, what's the point?
There is none.
So I think we're more looking because of the position we're in, and we should do this podcast with single people.
Yeah.
or our single people. But because the spin we took on it's not necessarily what even is a man as much as what is a husband. And that's kind of the spin we kind of took on it today, from my view of it, which is still great. But I'm newlywed. It's been 6. We just had our 6-month anniversary, so yeah, it's amazing. The married life is amazing, but there are things like I need to make sure that she's fed, especially during this time in our lives. She needs to be fed every day. And every time I hear myself saying that, it's like I'm talking about an animal, which I feel bad for saying that, but that's where my mind goes. She's fed, she's watered, and that's not the point I'm trying to make, but I make sure she has
Yeah.
what she needs. And then I try to, especially in this, in this weather, it gets a lot of people down the dumps. So like this trip is not just a shed trip. I've asked for 2 days of hard shed hunting, and then the rest we can be tourists. We can do whatever. We can stop at arches on the way down. We can do all this, but anything she wants to do, that's what
Heck
we're
yeah.
doing. That's and I think that's a lot of what it is compromise, and but you got to make sure she's happy too.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't take much to get us happy.
No.
You give us a gun and a couple days to go chase animals, we're happy.
Heck yeah.
It's not that easy for, at least for my wife. I can't speak for yours, but it's not that easy for her. She's got things she likes to do, and she's got things that she wants to try and stuff, and we're good to do it. So, but yeah, that's in a long roundabout way. That's time flew. Holy crap!
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
No. So I guess to broaden it a little bit, because that it has mostly been focused on fatherhood and husbands.
Mm-hmm.
What does a man do?
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to to our little sisters. Okay, so you have one's married and one's engaged, and I have one that's engaged and one that's in high school still, and I just think about to kind of give myself perspective of this question. I'm gonna think about what the type of guys I want. I would be okay with them dating. Not that I can say anything.
Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying.
But the kind of guys that they end up with or that they're dating,
Mm-hmm.
And how they treat them. If I see, and luckily I haven't seen it ever with my sisters. They picked some good ones. But if I were to ever see a guy drag my sister along in something she doesn't want to do, well, really doesn't or take her down a path that I know she doesn't want to end up on, or I would be very frustrated, very angry with the man. Because it's my little sister, I don't want her to. I don't want her to feel pain, and I think that's a lot of it. That is, I want the person that they end up with, to be able to provide for them, to be able to make them happy, and this is sounding a lot like what we were talking about earlier, but just to be well-rounded and in my heart spiritually mature. So if you have a couple of things like that, shoot, I'll let you explain your dad's, and we can kind of never mind. I'm gonna cut all this out because I'm just
No,
spinning.
dude, you're good. No. So I see where you're going. So something that my dad had always told me growing up, which he had told us, when you're looking for a spouse, you have a triangle. Okay.
Yes, that's what I was getting at.
You have a triangle. So there's 3 different. Excuse me. Oh goodness.
Yeah.
So obviously a triangle. There's three different sides to it. One side needs to be physical. Do you find that person attractive? If not, maybe move on.
Mm-hmm.
Another side needs to be personality. Do you enjoy being with this person? Do they make you happy? Are they someone that you want to be more like? And are they going to help you grow? And the third side, which pertains to us especially, is spirituality. Do they know who God is? Do they know their Savior? Do they want to spiritually grow with you? Those are the three main things. There can be more if you want, whatever is truly
Mm-hmm.
important to you. But those three things should be something that you really focus on when you're trying to find a spouse. Those three things are what can really make a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, there's physically, that it's different, for each person.
It is. But to take physicality in a different level, I'm going to say
Yeah.
lazy. So, I mean, if let's say we're judging a man off of this
Okay.
triangle. And I'm gonna draw it down because
No,
I'm a
you're
visual
good.
person, you
All
know.
right. The whole time I was sitting here doing this while
So,
explaining it.
yep, right here, the way your dad explained it to me. Um, no, if a guy's lazy and let's just put it a couch potato, and he's sitting on the couch drinking his soda, just doing nothing, uh, and I don't care if you're
Yeah.
married or not. You're sitting there doing nothing, and you're playing video games, and that's what you do. You go to work, come home, play video games, do nothing, eat. That doesn't benefit society at all. And I'll raise my hand. I've lived this lifestyle before. I had a really rough streak, and I mean I come home, I make sure dinner's ready. That's usually my responsibility at nights. So I come home, make sure dinner's ready, and then make sure everything she needs or wants is okay for. Well, let me trace that back. We start off by talking usually, um, and then go on from there and discuss stuff but yeah, I've fallen into that trap a lot, especially when we were first married. We got home. There's not a whole lot to do here. I didn't know the area, so I didn't want to go out. So I sat on the couch and I'm lazy. So, but I don't. I think that in my opinion, that makes me less of a man.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm not going out doing service projects, I'm not doing things I should. I'm placing this on me. It's something I've been thinking about a lot lately as well. And that retrospect to me is I'm just too dang lazy, and I need to get out more. I need to get out and help more. And I have an amazing elders quorum in our ward, and so I sit there in elders quorum and I'm listening to all this stuff. I'm like, I really do need to do all this stuff. I know it'll benefit me more than it'll benefit anyone else. And I'm being selfish that way. I want it to benefit me. So I know that um, service is a very healthy healing process. It's something that helps you a lot. But to start our triangle there, yeah, I
Yeah.
I think if you're consistently lazy and consistently avoiding responsibility, that makes you less of a
Yeah.
man. On the contrary, again, we look at all our examples. I don't know of anybody that we are related to that doesn't just bust their butt to help others to be physically fit in the right ways, and to just do things, always going. That's yeah. I look at again, Grandpa Joe and Grandpa Hall. That they're always talking, always helping, always doing all these things for other people, and it's just amazing to me. And with their physical limitations, Grandpa Joe can't get around as much, but he's still just the great guy we grew up knowing. And I know your Grandpa Hughes is the same kind of way.
No, 100%. And there's, there's a very big difference between that and relaxing. If
Yes, there is.
If you're relaxing or resting, that's because you have done something worth taking a break from. And if you're being lazy, you haven't done anything worth taking a break from. You are really you're doing what you shouldn't. In the scriptures, it talks about to avoid being idle, which is it's exactly what you were just talking about. But like to add to what you were saying, like I have my two biggest father figures, which is my dad and my father-in-law. And both of them were school teachers. And on the side, did all sorts of different construction things. My dad did a lot of tile and construction work. My father-in-law did hardwood floors. When they weren't teaching, there were a lot of times they would be up till 1, 2, 3 in the morning doing those side jobs to then at 6 the next morning be right back up getting ready for their teaching job. And they did that. Like I know my dad did that my whole life. That guy, I give him a hard time about his gut that he's getting. And that he can't keep up with me and my brother like he used to. But to add to that, we also have been getting stronger, physically more, and are able to do a lot more physically. So you can't really compare that because we were little kids and he was out doing
like apples and oranges.
Yeah. But you know what? There's not a more physically fit person than him. There's not a dang thing he can't do. If he really wanted to do something, he would do it. If he really, I should say, if he really needed to do something, 100% it would get done.
No, I I can see that a lot. And we give my dad a hard time about it too. Oh, you can't keep up with us, but in all reality, I can't keep up with Trace and Hunter.
No, there.
Okay. And I was this last hunting season hunting with my dad. I'm like, shoot, he's outdoing me this year.
No, I mean honestly, if your dad wanted to or needed to, he would outdo us all day, every day.
Oh yeah,
and he has. 100%. I mean, you know what? We do a lot. We're busy. We have a lot of stuff on our plate, stress, whatever. He's still outdoing us. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I think we hit good on that kind of aspect. I kind of want to move on to the next one, which I think is more important. But it's the spiritual aspect. And this is a great man is a godly man. So in all the men I've known that were great, they've had some sort of religious and not necessarily our God,
Mm-hmm.
but their core is pointed in the
Mm-hmm.
right direction. I worked with a guy that he didn't believe in one religion or the other. I worked with two guys actually that were this way, that they didn't believe in one God or the other, but they did believe in receiving revelation and going in that direction. And if it felt wrong, it felt wrong. Pull away. And I learned a lot from those two guys. They didn't have any denomination. They didn't any of that, but that was their belief. Was if they went somewhere and it felt wrong, it was take a different path. And again, looking at our dad's grandparents, my father-in-law, even like my father-in-law is very spiritual and very Christ-centered. And there's times that different conversations come up, and he just sits everybody at the table. I'm usually just there when it happens, And he explains like certain situations come up, and he explains to his family that this is what we believe. This is, and it's just very enlightening to be a part of, and he he shows the fatherly love that you can receive when you're being a spiritual dad. So that's something that's been really cool to witness these last couple months. Was that? Again, I went back home a couple weekends ago to watch my brothers wrestle, and Grandpa Joe was there, and my dad was there, and we were at Elders Quorum, and just a few comments that were made from both my dad and Grandpa were just right on the head, just in the moment. You could tell they're being a mouthpiece, and that's something that I feel like is a very, very much needed aspect in this world, is a spiritual being, a spiritual figure in your life. And I'm not saying it has to be ours. I know a lot of people, a lot of great people that don't have that faith, but our faith. But I do think that if you have some sort of being that you're worshiping, you take your life in a better path. So when you live your life to a higher standard than all this generational, I'm gonna throw our generation under the bus, who thinks they can do anything and get away with it. They can go riot in the streets and burn down a building, or go beat up an old lady, or go shoot up the school, and it's just not okay. So I'm very grateful that I was raised with this knowledge, with a spiritual father that had this aspect, just, and taught me that. Again, I made a lot of mistakes when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and the love I received because of his understanding of the gospel was just something that I couldn't ever replace.
No. No, I so something that we do believe is that our God is our Father. He is our Heavenly Father. And I can tell you that He loves us way, 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 way more than we will ever understand in this life. We can't comprehend that kind of love in this life. And I think someone who, I'm going to use the example of a man. I think a man who understands that we have a Father in heaven, that we're here for a purpose, and He has provided that for us. And that He continues, even though there is so much crap and just evil in the world, He continues to watch over us, love us, protect us, guide us. And a man who understands that reciprocates that. I've seen a lot of people who have fathers, but they don't, and I don't want this to come out wrong, but I think a man who has a spiritual side to that triangle, no matter what it is, has a godly love for people. They want their children to grow up and become better than they are. They want people around them to have joy and to be okay. They want to be there for those who aren't. They want to lift burdens for people who have them. They want just this world to be a little bit better. And that's something that, I think anyone can have, but someone who has a spiritual side to that triangle will definitely have.
No, you can tell who has that side and who doesn't.
Yeah.
And we stand out. It's one of those things. You watch these YouTube videos and you're like, okay, that's a godly man, and you know it. You know he's on the right path. He's doing what's right for him and for his family, or him in general. You know, that's a godly man. And there's some others you're like, well, he's doing all this cool stuff. He's conquered all these mountains, killing all these big stuff. There's just that vibe that you don't get.
Mm-hmm.
So that you do get with other people, and in real life too. You know, it's pretty easy to tell a godly man from just an everyday run the mill guy. So
yeah.
it's just there's something about guys that you can tell.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So what's the last leg? I forgot it already.
So it's a personality, which kind of ties
Personality,
into a lot of the
and
stuff we've been
that
talking about.
exactly. Yep. But you can judge a lot off personality.
Yeah.
And judge is a different word.
Yeah.
Judge is judging character, not judging a person. You know.
Yep.
But their personality is a decent way to figure out who they are. If they're bubbly, fun, be around, that's fun, you know. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're a good man, as much as the other attributes.
Yeah.
But I do think personality is a huge thing, and just being comfortable with whoever you are.
Yeah.
If you're, I'm gonna use Brian Call, and you're a man, you conquer these mountains, you go in the deep and back country, you spend 10 days back there, you lift weights, you're the '80s picture perfect man. Um, I don't know where I was going with that. Hey, but he's got a different personality. Like, and him and Ryan, you look at their personalities; they're completely different. Ryan's really laid back, and everything like that. And um, I'm going to go into more of our situation, because that's I want to talk more about us than people we look up to. But you look at our brothers;
Oh yeah.
they can be friends with anyone. They go up to them. They're talkative. They're good looking. They're you know
Yeah.
none of the things
Just
we are.
skipped over us, went right to him, to them.
Yeah. But that doesn't make them any more a man than us, being more laid
No.
back, more whatever. But the way you treat other people, it does. And that again, that goes back more to our other stuff. And I'm not saying our brothers aren't any men, because they're
No.
phenomenal people.
They are honestly probably better men than we are already.
Probably, I I know I still look down at mine, but I look up to him. So
Yeah, definitely
and
same.
and watching my little brothers grow into the men that they. I mean, I state wrestling was this weekend, and I didn't go. Um, State wrestling was this weekend for little boys, my two youngest brothers, and the hard work that I mean, every time I go and see Bronson, it's always, can we wrestle? Can we work on this? Can we work on that? I'm like, okay, yeah, we can do that. And the work that he puts into it, but it's not about the end result. It's about who he's becoming, and and this is why I swear on wrestling. It's because I know what you have to do to be successful, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But through the process, you become a better human being, and that's something I've seen with my brother. Is this wrestling thing has really brought him closer to who he is, and he didn't place. He lost round before placing, which was a heartbreaker, um, but it doesn't matter, because he goes back, had his little time, and then Talon's wrestling, and Talon is in placing rounds, and Talon's wrestling, so he goes and cheers him on, and goes off that way. And I couldn't be more proud of Big Brother, knowing that's what's happening. You know, knowing that he's the older one, he should be more experienced. He should have all this and that, but he's not going to hold it against his brother's head, who's worked just as hard to get to where he's at. He's going to go cheer him on. Going to go be on the mat side, pushing him forward. And that's, in a nutshell, that's what a man is to me.
Yeah.
Is someone who, even at their lowest point, can think about others and
Yeah.
can push them forward and keep them going. So to answer your question
100%.
at the beginning, yep, that's what I think a man is putting others before himself, even in times of hardship. And,
Yeah.
and there is a happy medium with that. I've seen lots of guys that give everything and don't get a lot in return, and it takes a lot out of them. So there is a happy medium there, but a man gives, and he doesn't take as much as he should be giving. So
Yeah. I 100% agree. I'm gonna use Hunter as an example because he's my only brother.
Mm-hmm.
I've got two awesome, well, one awesome brother-in-law and an awesome soon-to-be brother-in-law.
I thought you were going a totally different wordage there.
Oh,
I've got two. Well, I got one awesome sister, but
oh no, they're as awesome as my brother-in-laws are. My sisters are better, but no, the Hunter. He and I don't care if he doesn't want me to use him. I'm going to. That's suck it.
yeah.
But no. So growing up, and he's not afraid to tell you this, especially when he gets upset with me. To put it bluntly, I was a shitty brother. Okay, I I put that kid through hell. I have never treated anyone as poorly, been more hard on anyone in my entire life than I have him. And he has very, very many reasons to dislike me. He has a lot of reasons to leave me behind and enjoy his life without me. But he is a man. And he is a very wonderful example of a man. Because even though his older brother treated him like crap his whole life, put him down in every which way he could, he pushed through. He held strong to the things that he knew and knows. And he took the things that I made fun of him about, that I was hard on him about, and made them into strengths. And he did all these wonderful things. But to me, the biggest thing that sticks out to me is the fact that he forgave me. He didn't let those stupid things that I did as a child, even though it was even just up till a couple of years ago, I will say as a child, because they were very childish. He didn't let that ruin our relationship. And he pushes hard to grow our relationship. I can ask for his forgiveness as much as I want. Doesn't change what happened. But he doesn't let that affect the fact that when I go hunting with anyone, I want him to be there. He's going to be, you're my number two, but he's my number one choice to go hunting with.
No, I don't blame you there.
He's my
So,
number one choice to do pretty much anything with. And because he understands what a man is, and he is trying to be that. There's a lot of things he does that I don't agree with. I think he focuses way too much on his truck. You know, he could be financially different, but you know what? That's him. That's what makes him Hunter.
mm-hmm.
And with all these things, and there's not very many that I disagree with him on. Him and I are, as much as he would hate to admit it, him and I are pretty similar in a lot of ways. Very different in others, but pretty similar. But what he's way better at is he's a man. So for all the single ladies out there, if you want you a man,
Perfect time for a plug.
hit him up.
Yeah. No, and it's
But you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no. You can finish your thought.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, you know what? With everything we've talked about, and there's so much more we could honestly add to this.
Oh yeah.
Due to time, we won't. But
Yeah. You know what? At this point, I'm almost thinking of splitting it into two.
yeah,
But
honestly.
because the first
But
part is going to be a little bit jumbled, and but then we kind of came down to what our not our true feelings, but our true knowledge of what we believe.
yeah,
So
yeah, because there's it's just hard to see so many people lose focus on what a man should be.
mm-hmm.
And it's so hard to see this world go in the direction it is. There is a ton of good in this world.
There is.
We we are very, very, very blessed. But there's also a lot of confusion, a lot of just bad things that go on. And it's because of just a good chunk of it's just because of just dumb, poor decisions.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if I should, but I am going to go this way. I look at one of our uncles, and I'm not going to name anything, but well, we have two of them now, but not now, but two of them that are kind of the same situations. But the struggles they went through had consequences and bad ones. I mean, very bad ones. Um, but they overcame them. And the men they are today are just so much better than they ever. I'm not gonna say ever were, because I didn't know them before everything and after. I
Yeah,
mean, we don't
yeah,
know a lot. Some of them after, but the men that they are right now are completely different, and they're great men, godly,
yeah,
yeah, great men, and um, I think that's as much the judges of man as anything is realizing that you got to make a change, whether it's by force or by choice. Um, they made that choice to change, to become better, to get rid of certain things, and um, the happiness that is in their lives now is just tremendous. I think that it takes a man to know where that line's drawn and to change it.
yeah.
So, because there are times that we're all piss poor.
No,
we're
a
all the
lot
ones that
more
are
than
like,
not, some of
really,
us.
that guy's just, you know. There's times that we'll get that put on our head, and you step back and you're like, well, crap, that is what it looks like. That is what it is. I need a change, and I think making that change is part of being a man. Is
Yeah,
pushing forward and becoming a better yourself, so you can help others better. Um, so Christ, you want to look at the perfect man, Christ is it. Um,
yeah,
but the thing that we need to focus on there is he didn't help out perfect people. You know, he saw the men, he saw the women, and he saw that they needed this, and they knew that he could help them. Whether it was as apostles or I mean, I'm sucked into The Chosen. It's a great show, you know. Um, but you look at the way he treats his apostles, who are men of God, and sometimes he has to humble them. He says, "No, that ain't it. Suck it up,"
yeah,
you know. Um, and that's just I don't know. I have a different perspective on Christ than a lot of other people do. It's just he's not there to judge me. He's there to smack me around and say, "Hey, dude, like if we were together and I was on a diet, and I was to pick up a Dr. Pepper, you're like, dude, don't do that, Just those type of those things. And like
Heck yeah.
he just smacks us around and said, "Hey, don't do that. Come on, let's go do this." Um, but that's my perspective on Christ, you know. Um,
Oh yeah.
but you look at that perfect man; he did not he did not think about himself very often. It was all about others, all about helping others, improving other men while improving himself. So at least that's my
No,
perspective.
I couldn't agree more. I I couldn't agree more. I 100% am with you on that. That that is a man.
Mm-hmm.
That is the man
The
that we should be trying to be more like.
mm-hmm.
No, I couldn't agree more with you. No, but just due to time, honestly,
Yeah.
we'll we'll end our rant. Our not even going to say rant, honestly, because you know what, it was good.
It was good to have that discussion, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Obviously,
No, but
we've had a lot of we've been very fortunate in having great men in our lives, uh,
yeah.
and it's the list is always growing, you know. Um, so it's very fortunate. We're very very fortunate, and like you're saying, we were both saying, um, our little brothers even. You know, it doesn't have to be, oh, you're a man, you know. There are things that even at a young age you can see in character from just great people.
There's a reason they're called young men.
Yes, exactly. But, I'm glad you
Yeah.
had that question. I was a little bit taken off at first, and we rambled a little bit trying to figure out what direction we were going, but I liked the way it turned out. So
Me too. No, and it's one we may have to get into with some of the other guys too,
yep, yep.
because you know what, they may think a little differently than we do.
Oh, I
And they
know.
may have more to add.
I know there's different thoughts around the board. I'd be interested to hear
Yeah.
Hunter's and Jared's point of view on this, and Tracer's. So
Yeah.
that may be something that maybe we don't discuss as in depth, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So
No, heck yeah.
no, that was fun. But as always, guys, if you like what we're doing, let us know. So, or if you don't like it, if you
Yeah.
don't like this episode, let us know. It's not going to change much, but let us know.
Yeah.
So,
We appreciate any feedback we can get. And
exactly.
honestly, I mean, if we don't know that we're doing something wrong, we can't
Mm-hmm.
change it. So let us know if that's the
Yep.
case.
Well, I'm going to take Randy's and Corey Jacobson's thing um, for this, but you get what you paid for. So
Yeah.
we'll give you a full
Yeah.
refund if you want it back, but you get what you pay for. So,
100%.
but no, um, I'm grateful for this podcast. You know, it does open up conversations like this that we don't get to have as much because we don't do as much. So it
Yeah.
opens up a conversation just for us, as well as opens up and opens up the minds of other people. So, as
Oh yeah.
always, like, subscribe, comment. We do love the comments that we're getting, guys. So, um, yeah, we thank you guys. Um, we have apparel. If you want a hat that we don't have, let us know. Um,
Yeah. We'll make it happen.
so yeah. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, but we are going to get more into this optics and start tearing them apart and seeing what they really are. So we'll keep you guys updated on that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, we'll be sure to let you know when we find out. And yeah, everything about that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, right on. We'll look forward to the next time.
Yep. Talk to you guys later.
All right, we'll see you.